All right, hello. Welcome back. Another rendition of the Trey Smith perspective. Apologies in advance if I sound stuffily, nasally, kind of like yet might blow my nose here at some point or shoot a phlegm rocket right into that fucking trash can right to my left. We came into a little bit of an illness. Was a little bit my ass actually. Was bedridden for fucking 2 days. Don't know what it was. Don't think it was COVID, but you just had a fucking head splitting headache. Like right up here, the top of my head, and then just was incredibly nauseous. My legs just could not do being on them for more than like 2 hours. Okay, before we get into this fucking unsolicited illness, I should intro this podcast. Welcome to episode 37 of the Trey Smith Perspective. I'm your host, Trey Smith. Um, and we got some shit to get into. I'm Nostradamus. I'm the finals Nostradamus. The NBA playoffs Nostradamus. Um, Not much sport wise to get into. Did watch a bunch of shit. And yeah, again, got sick as fuck, which just kind of threw a wrench in all them albums coming out. Fucking, as we'll get into, there were several albums that dropped on Friday and I could not listen to them until Sunday evening, Monday. Today's Tuesday, and I've still haven't heard all the new music that came out in the last couple of days. So we're behind on music, but we'll touch on what we've listened to. We watched a couple movies, a couple episodes of different things, and we're gonna see what we get into. I guess first, as I try to not sound like I'm dying in my ear, I literally sound like I have no soul. I feel like have just oh man, work has been a struggle the last 2 days. Cause yeah, I got a 3 day weekend technically because I called off because I could not physically go into work, but couldn't enjoy it. Just fucking laying in my bed like. So Thursday morning, I wake up and it's not uncommon for me to sometimes wake up either in the middle of the night or in the morning, kind of feeling nauseous, but then it'll normally pass because I I I'm trying to put a stop to it. I have a very fucking bad habit of just stuffing my face before I fall asleep. Like right before I fall asleep. Like I'll fall asleep with a potato chip. And then I'll wake up, eat that chip, eat 2 to 3 more chips, crumple the bag up, put it back in the fucking snack drawer. So I wake up with stomach problems a lot sometimes. Anyways, that's just what I thought it was. But this one kind of felt different because I had a fucking cranial splitting headache. So the first thing I do when I wake up is I pop a couple ibuprofen and I just start drinking water. Much like I this one. So much like I this one. I just start drinking water and I start to feel better. My fucking like assets are coming back to me. I feel a little bit more like coherent. I'm not nauseous. Plus I took a shit. A lot of times, if you're not feeling well, work up a shit, take that shit, you'll feel a lot better. It's just kind of how it goes. Shit is bacteria. You get it out, you feel a lot better. It's just how the fuck it goes. So I take a shit, I go to work, I feel good. 8, 9, 10, 10:30, I feel good. Around 11, I start feeling real nauseous. Like, real nauseous. Like, I gotta get the fuck off the floor right now, or I'm gonna puke on somebody's grandma nauseous. Like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. So I go to the back room, I put all my shit away, and I just kind of sit there, and then the headache starts to set in. And it's like, just starts it just starts crawling up my head. Like it starts here, like a normal headache, and then it kind of worked its way to like the front of my head, and then just fucking all the way to the top, and then was just knocking right here. Not an enjoyable experience. I was sitting on a milk crate in the back of the store with my jacket over me, like just fucking and like this jacket sitting over me. It stinks when you like it's like it's like 40 employees work there or whatever. So you're trying to find somewhere to sit that's like not people everywhere, and it's just not possible. So like I go in the break room and I try to put my head down on the table, and there's like a slew of crumbs and like a piece of an onion or a pepper or whatever fucking sitting here, and I'm like, ah. So I just go up front, and I'm not sitting up front for 2 minutes before my manager's like, "You all right?" Like, listen, I'm just gonna take my lunch and see how I feel after that. I got back from my lunch, I was like, I'm pissing and leaving. I'm taking a piss and I'm leaving. So I feel like shit. And then Friday, I, I woke up. No, actually, let me not fast forward because I got home at like 1 o'clock, 1:30 at the latest on Thursday. I slept till like fucking 6 o'clock, just all day. Excuse me. And then just kept waking up, sleeping for like 2, 3 hours, and then just did that for the next like 30 hours. I just did that. Just would sleep for 3 to 4 hours, wake up, sleep for 3 to 4 hours, wake up, sleep for 3 to 4 hours. And then sometime on Saturday, I started to feel like coherent enough again to where like, all right, maybe I could eat some food. Like, oh, I hate being sick. Especially me, who, as you can see, skinny enough already. When I go to the gym, I have to fight for every ounce of muscle to stay on my body. And I don't like fucking diet particularly well. It's not like I'm eating cakes and cookies and all that shit all the time. I mostly eat chicken, eggs, spaghetti, shit like that. But like I don't eat a lot. Like I don't eat a lot. Like I don't shove my face. I eat one time, like at work, and it's not even really. I don't even really count it because I eat like a Cliff Bar. And then when I get home from work, I'll eat a sandwich, typically a turkey sandwich, maybe some mac and cheese, and then I'll go to the gym, and then I'll come back, and then I'll eat dinner, and then that's probably why I'm always so hungry for the late night snacking. But yeah, that's why like I get so mad when I'm sick and I can't eat for like fucking 3 days. I gymmed one time in like 5 days last week. Oh, it was ooh. I hate being sick, but I was kind of overdue. I hadn't been sick in a long time. You ever like mental clock that? You're like, it's been a while, and it's good to get sick every now and then. Let your immune system be like, whoa, we got breaches, we gotta fucking bring it in, boys. I just fucking sit there mentally. I sit there mentally trying to defeat sickness. Just fucking just mentally trying to defeat the sickness. I will not be sidelined by this any longer. So finally, Saturday rolls around, and I'm feeling decent enough to fucking like interact with people socially, be able to walk around. I was able to go to the store, reemerge into public after 2 days. Yeah, I missed that whole orange cloud haze that fucking like cast over all of Allegheny County. I missed that. I was literally sitting in my bed trying to mentally defeat sickness, and I like my eyes darted towards the window like so. Is it fucking orange out there? Is it fucking orange out there? It was in fact orange out there. I didn't go check because I couldn't fucking move. Like my back. Oh, I had pain in my back and then it was in my legs. That's when I knew I was in trouble at work. When I felt the pain like crawl down, like it literally like wiggled, it like wiggled down my lip, my hips, and just down my legs, and just this pain set in, and I was like, oh, I gotta go home. Hate being sick, but yeah, Saturday was able to socialize a little bit, watch a couple movies, a couple shows. I do feel kind of cheated at the moment. I, I got really, really sucked into Jailbirds on Netflix. Not the original one. It's the New Orleans one, I think. And there's just this little nine-fingered Michael Rooker looking lesbian in there that is hilarious. And they made they made Miss Picard take off her coat. I can't I'm not gonna outline the whole show, but it's fucking hilarious. I will not outline the whole thing. But I was getting really invested into it. Long story, less long, and it's only 3 episodes. I've never seen no Netflix shit only be 3 episodes. They literally started fighting. Like bitches started throwing tables and fucking or whatever, and like chairs or shit. That's crazy. I said they started throwing tables and fucking or whatever. That sounds like a wild war zone orgy, like Coliseum type atmosphere. That's crazy. Nah, but like they're interviewing this chick, and she's like, excuse me, and she's like, yeah, I accidentally sold heroin to a CI that worked for the FBI, and he died. And then he's, bitch, get the fuck off my fucking bitch! Get the fuck off me! And then like shit starts fucking flying, and all this one does is just like, you guys should probably run. And then like on cue, shit just like flies in the background. Bitch, get the fucking bitch! Don't you fucking touch, bitch! And then, I wanted more, but the fucking there's only 3 episodes. Who robbed me? Who robbed me like this? I actually spent a good bit of time on Netflix watching a good bit of shit. What else did we watch on Netflix? American Chris Hemsworth. Bro, that took half that fucking movie for me to get used to Chris Hemsworth with an American accent. Literally took half the movie for me to be like, all right, I get it. It's set in. But then there's one point where he lets out like a fuck, and it almost slips out. You're like, oh, did I hear that Australian trying to come out? The movie I'm referring to is Spiderhead. Just came out on Netflix. Uh, Chris Hemsworth, Miles Teller, Journey. I think it's Journey. I don't want to say it incorrectly. Uh, Journey Smollett. Who else was in there? I don't remember the gentleman who played Mark. I don't remember his name. But it was really just those three as like the main three. And I didn't like Miles Teller as much as I normally do. Chris Hemsworth was really good in it. The dude that played Mark was good. Smollett was good. Really, there wasn't really a bad actor, I don't think, in it. The story was just a little weird. There was times where it felt like it was trying to go somewhere, and it like just kind of stalled out, or it would immediately pivot left and be like, "All right, well, this is what we're doing," and then there's no explanation. And sometimes like it was a movie that constantly left you asking questions, and then when it would answer those questions, sometimes they felt underwhelming, and you were like, "Oh." The ending was kind of like that. I think the ending was kind of underwhelming as well. Couple wild parts, couple wild parts in it for sure. I do recommend watching it. It's not a bad movie. I've seen worse movies, but it's not great either. If you want to see Chris Hemsworth talking an American accent, that's cool. I mean, the concept is brilliant. I just felt like it could have been executed better. There were a lot of things, like a lot of the questions that were answered. I was like, all right, well, what about the fucking ones that? What about the cool questions? Like how did he start all this? What like who who funnels him? Who funnels y'all to him? Like where does he just get these prisoners? He obviously has like a chain of communication with somebody because he said like an email or something came down that they were free 7 months ago and they or he was free 7 months ago and she was free in a week or whatever. It's so he's communicating with somebody. There's some sort of system in place. I didn't like how it all just like kind of directly locked in on him, and then was like, all right, well, he's in charge of it all. And it's like, well, where's he getting all these? Where, like, someone somewhere is giving him y'all, is giving him access to y'all. Anyhow, even though I'm pretty sure that well, no, because he's getting them, he's picking people and getting people supplied like people for him to pick from or whatever from somewhere. He's obviously asking them like I think because I was about to say like they agreed um to be experimented on, but I think they agreed. I can't remember if they agreed to be experimented on like that's how they got there in the first place, or when they got there in the first place because they were selected to go there, that they agreed further to experiment with the N40 shit or the little like crystal shit that was going in their backs. That I can't quite remember, but either way, I give it a 5. It's cool. It's not horrible. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Obi-Wan, episode 5, better than episode 4. I would now say, if people were to ask me, Obi-Wan now has a great episode, 2 good episodes, not so great episode, and a not so good episode. It's just all right. I feel like it's been 5 episodes and we ain't done nothing, gone nowhere, progressed nothing. Nobody's done anything to progress any plot. It's just been. Oh, 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 it's just been. And excuse me. And the yeah, I'm making a bunch of nasty sounds. I've heard myself drink water 3 times. I sincerely apologize. Kind of struggling. Want to blow my nose real bad. Won't do it. We'll keep burying it in water. We'll just keep trying that. But yeah, Obi-Wan, it's been 5 episodes. Just feel like we haven't gone anywhere. Finale is as I'm recording this, it's tomorrow. So we'll probably talk about that next week. Uh, what else? Jurassic World dog shit. Still haven't seen it. Saw a few more things on it. Practically read like a whole fucking outline of the plot. Still gonna wait till I see it. Still gonna wait till I see it. But just know, it does in fact say Jurassic World dog shit on my fucking whiteboard. What else do we get into here? I guess we could get into music because this kind of deals with the same thing. Because all I got left is really the Logic interview with Rory and Mal, which was pretty good. Pretty good. I've never watched a Logic interview. I don't think like ever in life. But he sat down with Rory and Mal, and they was just kind of like getting fucked up, eating sushi and shit. Mal got hey, yo, somebody running up the ladder. Bruh, that fam, when there's food around and you're incorporating food into the interview, put the mic away this or come back here when you chew, bro. Mom was like, that's vegan sushi. It's so fucking good, it's vegan sushi. and, and honestly, it looked repulsive, but it made me kind of want some low key still, but like it's nasty regardless. Like that's a huge pet peeve of mine. It's just hearing people chew. I absolutely hate it. Bugs the holy piss out of me. Can't stand it. Or like, not even that. It's like when you can hear it, like the inside of the mouth. That's the nasty shit. Cause I'm like, I'm getting pictures. I'm imagining it. I'm watching it. I'm hearing it. I'm inside. I'm inside your mouth with it, dude. You're chewing on me right now. Ew, disgusting. You're chewing on me right now. That's disgusting. That's how it feels. It's like surround sound, especially when you just and you hear it, and like say you're on a date or whatever, or you're at a family function, or you're even just out in public and you hear somebody random doing it, you're gonna hear it for the rest of the time that you're around that person and they're eating food. It's gonna hopefully you have eaten before you picked up on this because it's going to ruin it. It's going to ruin your appetite. That is a fact. But the Rory and Mal interview, the logic was great. Definitely was a little long winded. Went on probably like 20, 25 minutes too long. They were just shit faced. Rory kept asking the fucking same question over and over. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than the Logic album. That's a fact. But I guess before we can get into that, I brought up Rory and Mal. It's no surprise that the Joe Budden podcast is my favorite podcast. It's the podcast that inspired me to podcast. It's a podcast that I still listen to this day, even the old episodes, new episodes, you name it. Um, Rory and Mal are standing on their own and have been out for 70 some episodes on their own. Let's figure let's talk about pros and cons of each of them. Both, first and foremost, definitely miss each other. Like, one's still weird without the other, and vice versa. It's the same way it is. In a lot of ways, though, I feel like right now, it's hard to say Rory and Mal are in a better position because Joe's core music fan base, as well as the core fan base that he's built up uh, through doing the podcast, that he's accrued as a podcast host, and like a Love and Hip Hop guy, and on Revolt, and all the shit Joe does on IG Live, and so I mean, Joe's core fan, Joe's podcast will never die. But I'm paying attention to the fact that Rory and Mal have been able to kind of tour. It seemed kind of on the smaller end compared to their full pod tours before when they were all still together. But they've still been able to tour, and Joe had to cancel his tour with Ice and Ish and Parks, obviously. But Joe had to cancel his tour. Rory and Mal have still been able to tour. That said a little bit more to me. Be it I could be misreading it, I could be off, I could be completely wrong. But it just seems like Joe's kind of had to batten down the hatches and just kind of put his head down and just keep going and just try and come out on the other end with something. As Rory and Mal are kind of coasting because they've kind of, I don't want to say figured it out, but they've allowed ads. I don't like right when the pod starts, it hits you with a fucking poorly read ad by Rory and Mal. But hey, it doesn't fucking stop me from listening to it. But when we get down to it, and you're listening to each one, I give this to, like, as far as which pod I think is ultimately in a better position right now, vote Rory and Mal. Which pod do I personally still think has more replay value, more revisit value, more I want to listen to that value? Joe's, for sure. And that's solely because of Joe. And that's really it. Rory and Mal's is great. It misses Joe. That's like the main takeaway. But Rory and Mal have done a great job filling that atmosphere. I can't remember the two individuals' names that they have to talk off camera, but they do a great job balancing that energy, especially the atmosphere that Rory and Mal have created. I enjoy it very much. That's why I gave vote in a better position right now to Rory and Mal. Ice and Ish get on my fucking nerves sometimes, especially Ice. Yo, Ish used to get on my nerves, but like a lot of the team lately now, Ish is just being like, all right, well, like I ain't even going harp on that then. Ice will just Ice is annoying as fuck sometimes to listen to because he speaks so matter of factly, but then in the very next hand he'll be like, I could change my mind tomorrow. And then it's like, well, then why even say anything? Make an opinion, stand on it, revisit it later. Don't back, like, I hate that in every conversation they have, it seems like Ice has to have 30 different outs. Like, he says his point, and then he's super fucking firm in it. But then he's got 20 different outs. He's like, no, I got love for it's trash, but I got love for this, and I wasn't expecting that, and I can appreciate this, and this is cool, and I could love it tomorrow. I'm always changing, and I can do this and that and this, and it's like, yo, can you just shut the fuck up? Because it sounds like hot air sometimes. I'm sorry, and I don't mean to sound disrespectful. That's not entirely how I mean. Because then there's sometimes I come in there and Ice is hilarious, and I love Ice, especially on Twitter. Ice is amazing on Twitter. Ice should handle all of the JBP social media networks or social media accounts because he's great on the internet. He knows how to do that. He's fantastic on the internet. And he's funny as fuck. He's a funny dude. He likes video games. He's a Steeler fan. I like Ice. But sometimes he hasn't refined as a podder, I feel, in a way. As for how long he's been on there, I feel like he should be further along. I feel like Ish is kind of coming into his own, starting to come into his own. I would like to see Ice start to fully come into his own as a podcaster. And Parks is going to be Parks always. So, and I can appreciate Parks there for being a constant. Like Joe and Parks are going to be there, and I appreciate that. When you listen to the pod, you feel like you're anchored by Joe and Parks. It's good. It's a good thing. Ish is coming along. I thought Ice was coming along better than Ish, in my opinion. Yeah, this is all in my opinion, but Ice just be getting annoying sometimes, and that's way too long on two podcasts. Only I listen to, not anyone else that listens to. Yeah, two New York based podcasts where I do not live. Two of the pieces of media that I consume the most. Yeah, I think that's really it. We can get into music, I think. We can get into music. My throat is burning up. So is my fucking nose. I gotta blow that. My throat don't hurt. But I'm saying I got like mucus in it. and, and in my nose. But these 95-degree days, you can fucking keep. You honestly, you can keep this shit. Who is enjoying this? I can't fathom it. The dude I work with, he was like, I was just sitting at the wave pool. It was like 95. I was just sweating, just sitting there. And I was like, and he's like, I love that. Like, how? It was horrible. You fucking sitting there just, like, when I'm just sitting there and I'm sweating? Nah, no. That is a miserable existence. I can't do that. You can keep this shit. Like I said, give me a swift, nice, breezy 66. If you must go into the 70s, go into the 70s. I'm cool with the 70s, especially if you want to hit me with a nice light breeze. Maybe some overcast in the afternoon. But like, don't hit me with this 88, 89, 90, 95-degree weather. There was one point, it felt like fucking like Phoenix air. It was hot, it was heavy, it was humid, it was thick. It was like, oh my god, where am I? Melted all my insides. Oh, guess we can get into music. I'm trying to read what this says. Oh shit. It does say that. I see some of y'all trying to get IG sponsorships, by the way. Some of y'all ladies, I fucking see y'all fucking having little photo shoots, really fucking posting on them seductive, promiscuous mirror pics. I see y'all really trying to get them sponsorships. Some of y'all are trying. Some of y'all got them. I see y'all post some of them, and then like a week later, y'all be like, "All right, promo code at that for 10% off your next set of protein vitamin pills or some shit." And it's like, "All right, get that thing." But then I can see it, but I'm seeing that, and then I'm seeing the rest of y'all seeing them getting the bag and being like, "Oh, let's try ours." And it ain't for everybody. I'm just saying, I see some of y'all trying to get them fucking IG sponsorships. Y'all out here trying to get the bag. I ain't hating. I'm just seeing it. Y'all posting some wild pics on IG. Like, damn, what? Like, be scrolling through my feed. Like, yeah, what y'all doing? Anywho, music. Chris Breezy. This Friday. I'm recording this on a Tuesday. As you're hearing this, the album will have already been out for 2 days, and I will have been elated for 48 hours. Thank God I did not get sick this weekend. The weekend that this drops. Drake. What was this shit called? Honestly, never mind. That is the name of the record. I hadn't decided what I was going to say on this Drake album yet. When we came in to record, I hadn't decided yet. But I think what I'm going to do is ultimately wait on it, and we'll revisit it next week. I didn't get to listen to it enough. I heard it one time through, and then honestly, the next album on my list kind of had me trapped for like a day and a half, and especially since I was able to get back in the gym. The Kevin Gates album is a good album, and I listened to Drake one time through because I kind of had to. Obviously, I'm a huge Drake fan, and then I put on the Kevin Gates album, and I couldn't leave it. I hit the Logic album for a couple songs, went back to the Gates album, tried to finish the Logic album, went back to the Gates album. It was hard to get away from, especially the last half. Excuse me. Last half of that Kevin Gates record was really, really good. Um, and I saw a lot of the Drake album hate before I got to listen to it. I feel like I'm kind of reviewing two albums at once. It's kind of all over the place here, but that's what we're doing. Um, First thing I thought when I started putting this shit on, I was like, yo, Texco Green is making my little hips do something. That's the first thing that came to my mind as I started rolling through this Drake album. But then I started firing skips off. I skipped 3 or 4 times, at least. There were a few songs that I landed on that I liked, but again, I only made it through the one time. Um, I want to give that Drake album another week to really kind of live with me because I think that's what that music calls for. Nothing on there sounded like bad music. It was just weird coming from Drake in the summer, which I don't, I'm not like floored by this album or like taken aback by the dance angle of it. Um, I kind of knew something was up because he had no promo for this. He did no type of a rollout. Normally, when he's coming with something, you know in advance. He starts dropping features. Maybe a Scary Hours will come, which he said a Scary Hours is on the way. I don't believe that until probably after summer or towards the tail end of summer. Maybe like October, actually, into the fucking winter. But yeah, he put nothing really behind it. He just dropped it. I think he might have been a couple days in advance, let us know it was coming. But the fact that there was nothing really behind it is kind of what told me that it's probably going to be different. It had that like when he does his mans and tings ting, and he don't really like put those songs on Front Street like More Life or whatever. He just kind of puts them out and just lets them live. He kind of just did that with this, and I think this will probably sell 250, 300 first week easy. Probably more because it's Drake. But I think 250, 300 is pretty fucking easy to say that he might reach. Of course, I could come in here next week and be wrong, but I think he'll easily cruise to 250, 300. I don't think it's bad music. There's a few songs on here that I know are going to end up being a couple Drake songs that I love. Texco Green is one of them. I absolutely love it. Rough. You're dealing with me rough. You're dealing with me rough. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's not how the song goes. As I started fucking, as I started wiggling there at the end. But the Kevin Gates album, great. Recommend checking it out. Logic's album, it starts with Morgan Freeman, so I was like, all right, let's go. Morgan Freeman, and I'm here to let you know that Logic is the GOAT. I was like, all right, Morgan Freeman, you're like 145. Clearly, you don't know music all that well, rap music all that well. But from what I heard of the Logic album, I didn't finish it. I think it was a longer album, like 20 songs. I got like, I want to say I got like 10 or 15 of the way through. Let me see. Let me look this up. Let me pull this track list up for this Logic album real quick. Because I don't want to do it a disservice. I mean, I like what he was saying about a lot of the album on the Rory and Mal show. Like when he was like, I took a little bit from everybody that I was inspired by, and that now I'm using it to just make music that I want to make, and that's what this is. And I got to after the Wiz song. So yeah, this is a long ass album. I mean, it's 30 songs. The Wiz song seems like it's about 10 or so in, and I got all the way to there. I mean, it was cool. I'll finish this at some point. Probably revisit. Like I'm definitely gonna revisit because he got Game at that bottom half. He got more Preem. He got RZA. He got Royce. He got AZ. So I'm definitely gonna get to that bottom half. Pause of this Logic album. Just it wasn't doing it for me there, and I kept going back to the back half of the Kevin Gates album. And the Drake album we will revisit. We will revisit that next week. I want to give myself more time to kind of play with it and listen with it. I might come in next week and be like, nah, I was bugging. I should have just said that shit was trash. But we'll see. I'm not going to kill him because, again, it seemed like he was going to do something different. He'd been walking around with dreads and he never had an afro. It seemed like he was coming with something. So I'm going to give it some time to kind of live. And it's dance music. I got to hear it out. I got to hear it in the car. I got to hear it by the pool. I got to hear it in a couple places. This is different music. Other than that, I think that's all I have. Um, yeah, not much to get into. The week was kind of hijacked by the week and the weekend was kind of hijacked by the unsolicited illness, as mentioned before. But hope all if you're a father, hope you had a good Father's Day. If you're not a father and you love your father, hope you had a good Father's Day. Um, Father's Day aren't just for fathers any either. Could be a grandfather, an uncle, someone. It could be a fucking a wise old literature teacher. It could be a professor of modern. So I don't know, bullshit. Anyway, just hope you had a good Father's Day. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you have a good week. And again, shout out to y'all for listening. First time listener, last time listener. YouTube, Spotify, all the rigmarole. Like, subscribe, do all that. We'll keep rolling on with this thing, and much love, you guys. Thank you.